In this video, I'm going to show you how to create this banner ad using Adobe Animate CC 2017. Animate CC is the application that Adobe has come up with to replace their earlier versions of the Flash program, and it works in HTML5, and it's really one of the standards for creating animated banner ads. So let's get started and see if we can make this ad. These are the images we're going to be using in this animated banner ad exercise. So these are the ones we made before: the sketched art, the shades of gray, the grayscale, and the color one, and then we'll also be adding a logo to all of these have been sized ahead of time, except for the logo that we'll have to resize when we bring it in. All right, let's get our Animate file set up. So we'll go to Animate, and we want to create a new HTML5 canvas, and the properties will be, we'll keep the 24 frames per second. We're going to make this 300 pixels by 250 pixels. Next, we'll import our images into the library here. So to do that, we do File, Import to Library. And we'll go to our banner ad images, and these are the images we want to import. And this is the option we want to have checked for the SVG files. Import all paths into the same layer and frame. The 2017 version of Animate automatically converts JPEGs into symbols. That's a change from the earlier versions. So what we want to do here is just go ahead and rename these symbols. So we've got the color, we have the grayscale, and then we've got tusky. Now we want to make our layers. So our first layer, we want to call it sketched art. Make a new layer, and the second one will be the shades of gray. New layer. The third one will be grayscale. And the fourth one will be color. And we're not going to make a layer for tusky yet. We may wait until after we do our text. Before we get too much further, let's go ahead and save our file. And I'm going to put this in here, make a new folder, animated banner ad, and 300 by 250 banner. To get our images onto the stage, all we do is click on the layer we want to work with. Let's start with the sketched art, and then drag the symbol that we want onto the stage. Okay, now at this point we want to position this and mark its location. So what we want to do is turn on our rulers. So view rulers, and slide this kind of into the position we want. I think this is probably pretty close there. And at that point I want to put a guide on the left side. As well as a guide on the top. And to do those, you simply click inside the ruler, hold, and drag the guide down and release it when you get it to the right spot. Okay, there's your first one. For the second one, we'll go to the shades of gray layer, activate the layer, click on the symbol, drag it into position, and then it will snap to the guides that we've made. For the third one, that's the grayscale. And if but for some reason when you imported your images, if it did not convert all of these to symbols, you can bring in your JPEG and then convert the JPEG to a symbol. So our grayscale is, grayscale is a symbol. We'll go ahead and drag it in. Okay, and then the last one is color. And like I said, if by chance you did not get a symbol for your color, you can bring that in and then do modify, convert to symbol. But I'm going to just use the symbol that already came in. And that we named color. There we go. All right. Okay, now let's hide and lock all of these layers, everything except for our sketch start layer, which is the first layer we want to work with. So this tab hides it, this one locks it. Hide, lock, hide, lock. All right, now let's start the animation. What we want to do is for each of these images, at first have them start as transparent images and then slowly fade into view. So to do that, we're here at frame 1. We want to select our image and now go into the properties for that image, and the color effect is what we're looking for. And for Animate, it calls opacity alpha. So we come down to color effect alpha, set it at 0, so that at frame 1 this ad starts with the sketched art with the first layer being blank. Okay, now what we're going to do is to have the animation start, we're going to wait about a half second. So let's come out to frame 15. And now we're going to insert a keyframe. That tells Animate that there's some action going to begin at frame 15. So we go to Insert, Timeline, Keyframe. Okay, now if we want the image to fade in over the course of, say, 2 seconds, we've got a frames per second of 24. So 2 seconds would be 48. To keep the math a little bit easier, I'm just going to add 50 seconds to this. So 15 plus 50 would be 65. Click out here at frame 65, and we're going to add another keyframe. Okay. Now, at that point, we want to, again, click on our image. That brings the properties for that particular image back up, and we want to turn our alpha up to 100%. So we've got it 100% here, we've got it at 0% here. All we need to do now is tell Animate to make the change or create the animation. To do that, we click anywhere in between the two keyframes and go up to the Insert menu and say Insert Classic Tween. Okay, so let's see how that looks. If we come back to here, our frame 1, center this a little bit, and if we hit play, it should be white to this point, and then at frame 15 start to fade in. Okay, with the first layer, so let's lock it now so that we don't make any mistakes and change it that we don't want to do. And now we want to start to apply the animations to the other layers. So let's make the shades of gray visible, unlock it, and let's go back to the beginning of our timeline. And here in frame 1 we can see that shades of gray is now visible. So what we want to do is click on it and make it invisible at the beginning. So we click on it, go to color effect, alpha, 0. So we want to start this animation on the shades of gray layer right at the point that the animation finishes on sketch start. So we come out here, we've already got it set at 0 opacity. We come out here to frame 65, and we're going to insert a keyframe. Okay, so now it is it's a blank layer up until frame 65, and we've got a keyframe. We want to move forward now 2 seconds or about 50 frames. So we'll come out here to 115. Click on that frame in the correct layer. Set another keyframe, and at this point we want to change the alpha to 100%. So we click on it to activate it. Go to our color effect alpha, bring it all the way up, and now it's fully faded in, and then tell Animate to do the animation, which is insert classic tween.